Hello, this is Class 3 Vibrancy. This is the third session of 7 on EBT Basics Wired for Joy. Congratulations for sticking with it. What we're working on this week is vibrancy and also the tools so that you can find the pathways through your brain from any level of stress back to joy. Now, the first thing about vibrancy is that it's not just health, and it's a sense of vitality, of zest for life, of enthusiasm for being alive. It's actually a brain state 1. All of these rewards are abundant at brain state 1. So what does that mean? You know, most of us who have been through a fair amount of stress in our lives, what happens is there's wear and tear. And we get health problems, and then we start having to take medications and have procedures and use devices and whatever. So when I say vibrancy, I mean that you can look at yourself and say, you know, for who I am, for my history, for what's been going on with me, you know, I have optimal health for who I am. And more importantly, I have an enthusiasm and a zest for life. However, that takes good medical care. So along the way in EBT, about every couple months, we suggest double checking with your healthcare professionals, being sure you're taking all the medications you need, so you have a platform, so you can actually feel healthy enough to rewire your brain, and that you can do things you love to do. You can have a brain fitness lifestyle where you're creating joy at your life. So what we're doing this week with the check-in is really very exciting, and in the videos to come, I'm going to show you specifically how to use each of the 5 tools that move stress through your brain back to a state of 1. But I'd like to just take a few minutes now to go over a couple of the things. Number 1, don't be surprised if you forget all of this stuff, that you feel overwhelmed at times, that your brain shuts down, because your emotional brain, you've been doing this for a while now, just hates it. Because it thinks that the old way of doing things, the old way of processing life is safe. And anything new, watch out. So it's going to, you may lose your pocket journal. You may forget you're taking this course. If you're going to an on-site EBT group, you might find that your car just somehow, you're a doctor or a lawyer, or you're really bright about these kinds of things, but somehow you make a wrong turn. So, the emotional brain is really sneaky. So the idea is we're trying to outsmart it and have a sense of humor and have some fun with it. So the first thing to know is that when you go inside last week and in the last class and you checked your brain state, oftentimes you probably weren't sure what brain state you were at. You'd say, well, I don't know, I'm a 2 or a 3, or how do you really tell? Well, this week, because you're learning these tools, each of these tools only works for the brain state that you're in at that time. If you try the tool for brain state 5, when you're in 4, it's not going to happen. If you try to use the tool for brain state 2, when you're at brain state 3, it will not work. So the idea is now you have another way of figuring out what your brain state is and beginning to learn all this for yourself, because everyone's different. You're going to have your own thumbprint of signs for each brain state. But the proof positive is which tool works. In fact, there was a woman in my group at UCSF, a faculty member, who said, I don't know about all this brain state stuff. I can't figure out what number I am. And what I do is I just go through the pocket reminder, those little cards you have, until one of the tools works. And then I realized what brain state I was at. So, try your own way of figuring it out. But the idea is for brain state 1, we're using the sanctuary tool, which is all about compassion and connection. For brain state 2, we use the feelings check, allowing your brain just to do the natural thing of figuring out everything that's going on, from all that input, from body, from sensory input, from memories, from thoughts, from whether you took out the groceries, out the garbage this morning or not, and it puts it in the brain, figures out what's your biggest need, your most important need, and it sends up to your neocortex the strongest feeling, because the strongest feeling points to the most important need. And then because we are social animals and the emotional brain is social, after you know how you feel, you can figure out what you need, and then see if you need support. Because anytime you connect with another person, not only do you create interdependence, which, intimacy and emotional connection is the genetically determined best way to get ease stress, but more of your needs are met. And it's a two-way street. Sometimes you meet their needs, sometimes they meet yours. That's the feelings check. In brain state 3, we're kind of wobbly. Feelings are beginning to shut down, or they're ramped up, or they're mainly negative. And what's so magical about that state is all you have to do is express anger, sadness, fear, and guilt. And that clears away the emotional clutter. And underneath that clutter, all those negative feelings that have been felt and expressed, there's this whole beacon of joy. There's this feeling grateful, happy, secure, and proud. Why would that be? When you clear away the stress, why are the good feelings just there? Because evolutionarily, the homeostatic process, the basic physiological processes of our body, are trying just to move through stress back to states of balance and reward. Because in those states, we are able to give back, to be of service, to anticipate problems, to save our tribe or family, and we're moving forward in our own learning in the game of life. So we're set up to move back to that state of joy, to clear away the negative feelings. Remember, overthinking or doing is not going to clear away those feelings. Feeling those feelings, those 4 feelings, angry, sad, afraid, and guilty, expressing them.